Welcome to Monday night's All Metal Mode podcast with Gypsy and myself, Amanda Digger DeGauze, and our two special guests, John Ramoska and Alan Landau. Before we get started with the show, March issues of Dirt Digest magazine drops this Sunday, March 1st. Make sure to definitely go check it out at dirtdigestmagazine.com. Dirt Digest magazine is also accepting April submissions for metal detecting stories and finds. You can go to dirtdigestmagazine.com and all the directions will be listed there. A reminder, Mike and Dorian will be live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time talking about research beyond the basics. So make sure to tune in tomorrow night. Hey Gypsy, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing really good. Doing really good.
Awesome. You had a great day today.
I
from
did.
what I've heard.
I did. It was epic this afternoon. So you couldn't pass it up.
About it.
It was like 55 degrees, 56 degrees, and the sun was out. And I'm like, I have to do this. I have to get out. So as soon as I got done work, I headed to a spot that's relatively closer to me. And I dug a coin spill. I was still so excited.
Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, my gosh.
So, and like a dummy, I dug, the first Indian head, and then I'm like, I put my pinpointer back in, and I was like, oh, it's another signal, and pulled out a shield nickel. And at that point, I'm like, I should tape, pull out the camcorder and record it. And I'm like, nah, this is probably it. Stuck the pinpointer in again and found another, and then I did. I pulled out my my camera and started recording, and found a 2-cent piece on film, and then put my pinpointer back in, and there was no more signals, and I'm like, all right, that's it. Shut it down, and then picked up my detector and went back over the spot, and there was more. So,
oh gosh.
But it was definitely pretty cool. So I ended up with, 7 Indian head pennies, a 2-cent piece, and 2 shield nickels. And 2 of the Indian head pennies are actually stuck together. So I'm going back and forth on whether I want to pull them apart or not. So
yeah. So do you know any dates yet on them?
I saw 1865 on the shield nickel, and it's got the rays. I think it's 1865. And one of the Indian head pennies, 1865. So those are the only 2 I could get dates off of, because they're like clumped with just a bunch of crustiness on them.
Wow. That's amazing. That is epic.
So I'm grinning like the Cheshire cat.
Yeah, I definitely would be too. Gosh, that is epic.
So how's everything going with you?
It's going great. I had a great week. I was in East Texas, during the weekend and the first part of the week, as you know, or last week, I should say, it's in the week. Let's see, last time, I was at my parents' house in East Texas, and then the very next day, I got to speak at a metal detecting club in Tyler, Texas, which turned out to be really neat. And met a young, brand new detectorist that I'll be posting a picture soon of her and I at the club meeting. It was her first club meeting ever. She got her very first metal detector, and it was funny. I had met her grandparents while I was in Arizona, and they said their granddaughter was in Tyler and had just tried out metal detecting was hooked. Found her first coins, and
Awesome.
she ended up going to the meeting. So future detectorist right there. So it's always exciting seeing the young ones get that enthusiastic about metal detecting and but it went really well, and got to do a little metal detecting while I was there, except for my neck was still giving me issues. So. And then I went the Dump Creek hunting yesterday, and with a big group, and there were some epic finds yesterday. I didn't find the epic finds this time. Last time I found 2 silver coins, but I did get a ring, a junk ring, and I got a load of pennies, some Wheaties, and I ended up getting a old Girl Scout pin, which was pretty neat. And other than that, a lot of brass and copper and stuff I can recycle.
That's awesome.
So it was fun, though. I had a great outing and met some new people, and that's always fun. And then I noticed Bill in chat. He got his brand new magnet that we gave away last week from Amanda and I. And just so you all know, we got that from Digger's Den. And I can't wait to see all the goodies. He said he's going to the creek tomorrow and going to find some goodies with his brand new magnet. So that's going to be exciting to see what he finds.
Happy hunting, Bill.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Just thank you, ladies. So we've got a great night planned here. We've got 2 very special guests. I'm going to let Amanda introduce them, and Alan and John, and I'll butcher their last names. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Amanda and let her bring them on in.
All right. So we have John Ramoska and Alan Landau with us. And how are you both doing tonight? And we'll start with that. Alan, how are you?
I'm doing great. The only problem is we can't get out and dig like you guys can. We're frozen under at this point.
Where do you live, Alan?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Wow.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, I bet it is freezing there. Poor Amanda, she can totally understand that. She's been having that freezing weather. I think today and today's been like the first warm day that they've had in forever.
Yeah, we've got snow coming tomorrow, so it's not going to be ready to go anytime soon.
No,
good. Goodness.
Now, John, are you in Illinois as well?
Yes. I'm in Chicago proper. I'm in the actual city of Chicago.
Wow.
And so then you're dealing with the cold weather too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are talking about digging stuff, and I'm going, I can't even go a half an inch in this ground. You guys have all the luck out there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm lucky. I live in Texas, so yesterday was actually a little rainy while we were out there, but we've been having excellent weather. Today was like a high of 70 something.
Oh, my heart bleeds for you. Oh my goodness. I don't know how you live out there.
Right. But poor Amanda, she's been snowed in for a while, so she finally got to get out. So.
Yeah,
I watch her.
Yeah, your weather is going to be coming this way, so.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Not looking forward to it. So John,
we'll send you a lot of it.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. John, how long have you been detecting?
I've been detecting it's going on, say, 8 or 9, about 9 years now. I got my first detector for my birthday. in March, and I had to wait a whole month, and I hit the church by our house. So it was a memorable day. I got my first Merc on my birthday. So it was interesting. Yeah.
That's a nice birthday present.
Oh, sure. Well, the metal detector was a Garrett AT Pro, so loved it, and that Mercury was really nice to find.
Sweet. So what detector are you currently using now, John? You still using your AT Pro, or use it as a backup? Well,
I use the AT Pro. I also have a White's MXT Pro, and I have the Equinox 800.
Awesome. You got the bud bad when you start getting all these different models. I know how that is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And multiple carrots, and a bunch of different shovels. And I go out like a Boy Scout. I got everything. If one breaks, I have another.
Exactly. That's perfect. How about you, Alan? Tell us about how long you've been metal detecting and what detector you started with and what you're using now.
Well, I started with, my father bought a machine in 1980, and I started using it more because he really didn't like it as much or couldn't dig because of his age. And that was a White's 6000D Coinmaster. And actually, cool. It still works to this day.
Is it the blue box
used
one?
It. Yes.
Okay,
I actually used it at the Go Mining Day with Mine Lab a few years ago. Everybody was laughing at me until they saw all the coins I found with it, because my daughter had my newer machine at the time. Today, I mainly use the 800, the Equinox, but I also have a CTX and a Deus.
Awesome.
And the Amphibio, but I don't use that very often. Can't get used to that one for some reason.
There's just some detectors that just takes a little longer to get used to, and some that we just don't always connect with as much as others.
I had the AT Gold and loved that machine. You can't beat the turn on and go machines, especially for the beginners.
Yeah.
And that's what those are, and they're fantastic.
They really are. That's what John was talking about, the AT Pro. I know a lot of people start out with, the AT Pro and AT Gold, and you just can't beat those turn on and go and find, him finding a Mercury dime, on his birthday. So some of us aren't that lucky when we first start out.
We have a group and we go hunting all the time together. We have a group that we have a Facebook page and YouTube page, and there's a group of us detecting Chicago and beyond.
Oh, that's
and we're always out as a group. But I've been detecting off and on. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just curious, how many are in your group, or did you go out detecting with? Y'all have a club, or is it just kind of a group of friends?
It's a group. There's usually 5 or 6 of us, and then when other people say, hey, I'd like to come and hunt with you, sure, come on. There's times where we've had 8, 9. Some come in from out of town all the time. So, we're always, depending who can get out that day, and there could be a lot. So there's always a bunch of us.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Go ahead, Amanda. I know you've got a lot of questions for him.
How did you, John, how did you get into metal detecting besides your birthday, did you say?
Yeah. So I'm a big history buff. I love history. And it just so happens I was watching the History Channel, and KG caught my attention when I was flipping through to see what was on one day, and he was jumping up and down like a crazy man. Yeah. And I was like, what the heck's this guy doing? And I stopped, and I was watching it, and he was pulling these items out of the ground, and I'm more of a relic guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to pull rings and coins, but I'm more. To me, a relic is more historic.
Right.
I mean, as far as like, for myself, it's more important to me to pick up something that somebody used, 100 years ago, 75 years ago. Coins are great. Don't get me wrong. I love my silver. I love my gold. Love my jewelry. But the relic to me tells more of a story of the person who could have lost it, or what they used it for at the time. And so that's what it was. It was watching those two guys jump around and tease each other, and I got my wife into watching it with me, and she's always out talking about getting me to get outside and do some stuff because I'm pretty much a homebody. So she says, if I buy you one for your birthday, you're going to go out and use it, and I did. And we were talking with that. I always want to say this. So there's clubs in Chicago, and I happened to find one through actually one of the guys that's our sponsors that we'll talk about later. I went to his store. We purchased one. He turned me on to one of the clubs here in Chicago. But for those who are new in detecting, you don't have to necessarily go out and find like the biggest club, but go out and find some people that share the interest, because as like Alan said, we'll get people that contact us. We have a group of guys that we go out together, and we'll see other people that are new, or they'll inquire, but it's having that bond to be together. And then, to me, it was just a dime until I went to the club meeting, and I said, have you used it before? And I'm like, I found the mercury. They're like, dude, that's, fantastic. It's not like it was a silver, or a real or anything, but they expressed to me the uniqueness, of finding one, especially being a new detectorist. It was a shot in the dark. It was an old church. So for those that are new in the hobby, I'd have to say, you don't have to find a big, grandiose size club. Even if it's a group of people that get together, if you can hook up with somebody, there's so many on Facebook. There's so many websites. So I don't know if you guys normally have new listeners, but that's going to be my thing for them. Is it's important to get involved with people that already have the experience, and that's what I did. So getting back to your question, it was KG and my wife lighting the fire under my butt and getting out and getting involved and meeting new people, and I made some friends that are going to be friends for a very long time.
That's an awesome story right there. I love that. I love hearing people's stories of how they got started and what sparked their interest, to get into the hobby. And Alan, as you said earlier, was it your father you said that had the white machine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that kind of sparked your interest, and so it started at a younger age for you, I guess, or you've been detecting a lot longer, or did you detect off in the line? How did that go?
Well, he never found one, so I started doing it more, and I kept doing it for about 5 years at that point. I was probably 21 at the time. Stopped doing it for a while, and then picked it up again out of the blue, and haven't set it down since. And then started meeting more and more people that were also into it, because it gets kind of boring when you're by yourself sometimes.
So true.
And the more people you're friends with and you're out with a group, it's always a lot easier. When we go out, we're usually out sometimes 8-10 hours now.
Right. And I don't know, we've discussed this a lot on the podcast, Amanda and I have, but I mean, for me, it's always awesome to be able to share, just like Amanda telling us earlier about her coin spill that she found. Just be able to share with others and with common interests, but like you said, getting able to go out with a few friends and do what you love and share in the moment, with what you find and with them as well. It's exciting.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to have had someone out with me today.
Yeah, I bet. You were doing
Amanda,
without anybody there.
all we are is a text message or a Facebook message away. We're always looking for places to go.
No, you're more than welcome to come up to Maine and detect. Can't guarantee we're not going to get your
spring.
snow. Yes,
No,
exactly.
We'll come up in the spring, fall, prime times.
Yes.
And you could come to Chicago as well. You could have some real pizza.
Yes.
None of that East Coast piece of paper stuff. The real thin. It's so thin it has one side.
Yeah.
We'll get you some real deep dish pizza. Yeah, come on. Absolutely.
That would actually be good. You sold me on the deep dish pizza.
All right. Deal.
I think we had a question in the audience. In the chat. Let's see. Do you see it, Amanda?
There's a couple.
No. Hold on. I realize I'm not on it. I don't see any.
Okay. Let me read it. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll down. Mr. Nugget Brain Wayne Peterson from Colorado asked if y'all had you ever hunted the beaches in, I'm probably going to totally butcher this, Winnetka? How do you pronounce that? Winnetka area?
Oh, Winnetka.
Winnetka.
It's Winnetka. Yeah, it's a north suburb of Chicago. Yes, we have actually. We've been up there quite often. That's probably one of our not main spots, but yeah, it's definitely a go-to spot. It's always something coming up, especially the beaches, yes, but for some reason the grassy area outside the parking lot in that Winnetka area is always giving something up.
Very cool. I love areas like that because you can always just kind of go to and find, you're going to find something.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, Alan, what type of areas do you detect? Like, do you do the fields? Are you in city tot lots or permissions like yards?
Mainly we're in the parks and in the city of Chicago, in the suburbs. I go up into Wisconsin a bunch, and also parks. Farm fields here, there really aren't unless you're getting further out. Closer you are to the city, you're not going to find any farm fields.
Yep.
And then every so often, yes, we do permissions too. And your permissions always, you can come up with a lot quick in those locations. But we've done, like in Winnetka, like you said, where there's a lot there. But that's the main parts, is the parks, I'd say.
The parks, okay. We had a question in the chat. Have either of you ever found a gun?
I have not. This is John. I have not, but I know a gentleman who found a hand grenade, and that was it. Yeah, and it was the pin was out. It was quite interesting to watch the two local police, city police departments, and a forest preserve officer fight over who has to take care of that grenade. That's pretty interesting to see. But no handguns. No handguns here.
Oh, wow.
Me either. I found a couple cap guns, but that'd be about it.
Yeah, I love finding the cap guns and the toys. That's one of my favorite things. I love finding them.
I love cars, the toy cars.
Yep, the toy cars, the
Tootsies,
toy soldiers. For me.
Yeah, me too. I love those.
Something about those old cars. I saw someone posted today a picture of this old car that they found. I was just like, oh, I love it. I don't know, something about them. So, Amanda, I know you've got more questions.
Yes. Before we get into talking about the event, which we'll do in a few minutes here, I wanted to see if either of you, I'm going to pose it to Alan first, but any bucket list item that you're hoping for 2020?
Without a doubt. I want a gold coin so bad. Especially I want a Celtic gold coin when I go overseas. Going to the UK next week.
Are you? Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So, do you mind us asking where about? Are you going on one of the detecting holidays or the detectable type thing, or a small group?
Yeah, I'm going with the Colchester Hunting Club. It's basically in the Colchester area. They have farm fields that you hunt, and every time they plow, they bring more things up to the surface. You're usually not going very deep, generally a couple inches at the most. Some things you'll even see sitting on the surface after they plow. Found quite a bit that way, just sitting there as you're walking by.
I can't even imagine.
Wow.
And no.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel. That's crazy.
Yes, but sometimes, yes. So a gold coin is on my bucket list. I want one so bad.
How about you, John?
I have not found anything that was seeded. That would be mine for sure. Never found anything seeded.
Okay, gotcha.
I've been trying. It's not from a lack of trying, I'll tell you that.
I hear you there. I'm right with you. Yeah,
and of course a gold coin. Sorry.
Yeah, that's on most 90% of us here.
Yeah, right.
It's still on our list. I've been detecting 21 years, and I know Amanda's been detecting about 8 years, and we're still waiting for our gold coins too. I found plenty of gold rings, but no gold coins.
Yeah, I wonder if it's in just certain parts of the United States that you're able to do that. I mean, there's a place here in the city. It's Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park Zoo is located there. And at one time during the Civil War, it was an encampment area. And then as the war progressed, it became smallpox was really big. And when the soldiers were getting hurt, they would come up the Mississippi to somehow they would manage to get through Lake Michigan, and it became an encampment. One end was for the smallpox and whatever other disease they had, and then the other side was for the wounded soldiers. So there was a gentleman that was in a club that I have mentioned prior in the podcast. He happened to be in front of one of the really super old buildings that's down there, still standing today from that era, and he happened to find a $5 gold piece, and it was pretty deep. But I wonder if it's certain areas like I've noticed a lot of the people on the East Coast, some up more up northeast, and some in Colorado seem to be finding a lot more gold than the central states. I just find that I don't know if it's just I'm not really paying attention that often, but to me it seems to be that way. So it looks like we're going to be coming down to Texas or going out to Maine and hook up with some of these, some of these other detectorists to see if we can get in there. I'd actually like to find a coin from the Revolutionary era. That to me would be, I'd melt. Yeah, for sure.
That would be epic. Yeah, for me as well. Amanda, of course, lives in the area, closer to the area where there are a lot of Revolutionary stuff found. So she's got a way, I'm not going to find it here in Texas.
Well, Amanda, you don't have to come to Chicago for the pizza. Alan and I would be more than happy to come out there.
Yeah,
and bring you a couple of beef.
Will you bring me
some beef dish?
Yeah.
I'll bring you 3 if you take me to a good field.
Yeah, I could do that. Trade off with some Chicago pizza. Absolutely.
Sure. We'll even bring you some Vienna hot dogs.
Yeah, some Chicago dogs. So there were a few questions in the chat. Let me go back here and see if I can find them again. One was from Wayne, and another one was from Bill.
I have one from Don. Don wants to know, can you hunt the city parks there?
Yes. The only thing you can't hunt in the city of Chicago is the Forest Preserve in the county of Cook, which is Chicago's, it's like one of the biggest counties in Illinois. So you cannot hunt the forest preserves, but you can hunt any parkway. When you do parkways, though, in the city, there's 2 big factors. 1, you want to make sure you're in the right neighborhood. And 2, you want to make sure that you're not creating this giant python of a hole to get out a dime that you could just, do a golf ball size hole with. Make sure you cover it back up. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's all, as far as I know, Alan, I can't think of any place that you can't in Chicago as far as parks.
Wow.
I think the only one you can't is Grant Park, which is the one where the big Buckingham Fountain is. Other than that, every park is fine in Chicago.
And you don't need a permit or anything like that?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Wow. That's awesome.
And a lot of the parks in Chicago are very, very old also. At least it's old for Chicago. Not old for the East Coast, not old for Texas either.
Right. Huh. Well, I need to come visit y'all too so I can hunt some
Come on. Come on up.
Yep.
Listen, Chicago's big. You're more than welcome.
It sounds fun. So we had another question. One was by Wayne Nugget Brain. He's from Colorado, and he had a question. He was wondering if y'all do any planted hunts or seeded hunts. Did y'all ever attend any of those? Either one of y'all?
Go ahead, John.
Actually, I was just going to say, go ahead, Alan.
Okay. One of the local club that John was talking about, they do 2 seeded hunts every year. We are going to one in Iowa. What is that, in May?
Yes.
And there are some all over the Midwest. But in Chicago, there's just this group doing them that I know of. There's one in Michigan. There's a couple in Indiana. But we're going to a few of them, yes.
Okay. Cool. And Bill from chat, he's actually the one that, Ohio Relic Hunter, he won the magnet we gave away last week. And he was wondering if either of you guys have done any gold prospecting.
I have not. I've thought about it. I think I would like it, but I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I'd have to. I try it, but I have not. No.
Okay.
Actually, I just bought a pan, and I bought some of the soil to try, and I just panned some out last weekend. Actually, ended up with 0.7 grams out of this one pouch of dirt. We were hunting some of the beaches in Chicago last summer. Now, the Lake Michigan is up, what are they saying, like 8 feet, I believe. And we actually saw black sand on the beach. And last summer I said to myself, I wish I had a pan to try it to see if there was anything in there. But now I have one, so when we see it this summer, I'll be trying it. I'll have it in the car with me. Just to try.
Definitely.
So
yeah,
Alan,
I'd be interested. I want to do for gold. I want to try that once.
Alan, there's a guy on here on the message board. His name is Wayne Nugget Brain. He actually invited us to go to Colorado to go prospecting.
Oh, that would be.
We're gonna have to get a hold of Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all will have to get a hold of Wayne. He is a part of the Worldwide Treasure Association. You can find them on Facebook, and they have several gold claims. And you just contact Wayne, and he can put you on some of those and tell you more info about that.
That would be awesome.
He's an expert in gold prospecting and gold panning, and he does metal detecting as well. And he also plans a seeded hunt every year in Colorado, in Mancos, Colorado, that will be coming up in June. So be sure and go to the Facebook page and contact him for more info. He has a wealth of knowledge on all of that, and I know he's been on some of the TV shows in the past and, did trainings on, how to go prospect, pan, and sleuth, you name it. He's an expert on it. So definitely check that out. Just go to Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers. It's WWATS, Watts, on Facebook, Watts. And you'll find that and be able to ask more info on that.
Oh, sure. For sure.
I will.
I'm always up for a trip.
Definitely.
All right. Did we get all the questions that were?
Let's see. Someone, David, was curious if we ever find any counterfeit coins ever.
I have not. No.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Any more questions? I'm trying to skim through here. Okay, Wayne put a link or to the Watts Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers on Facebook. It's got the part of the info, so you can check that out in the chat. And let's see, I think we're caught up.
Fantastic. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about Camp One Step, Metal Detecting Day. And hopefully I got that all.
You did. Very good.
Perfect. So, all right. So the event that's happening that you're both putting on, can you give a little backstory about what it is and who it's for?
That would be Alan.
Okay.
Okay, Camp One Step is part of Child Oncology Services. It is a group where they send the kids to different camps. They actually had sent them to 12 different camps all over the country. The ones that we're involved with is in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And they're there for 2 weeks in July. And it's all kids with cancer, ages 7 to 18. And what we do is we are seeding the ground for the kids. Obviously, we're going to do it in quite a few groups because we're going to end up this year with anywhere from 250 to 320 kids. Last year, they tested us. It was the first year. We only had the 7 to 10-year-olds. and we seeded it with, I believe, 800 coins and 18 pins for prizes. We gave away 3 metal detectors to the kids, 2 of which were donated by one of the metal detecting companies, Mine Lab, and another from Windy City Metal Detectors, which is a local company here, which is the person that John was referring to, that he bought his first metal detector through. And he donated a machine. We had started out with 34 kids last year, like I said, all 7 to 10 years old, and they had a blast. While we were there, they told us for this year we will have the entire camp. So we're trying to build it up with, like I said, anywhere from 250 to 325 kids for this year. And we're getting volunteers and everything else together for it. The hunt will be July 12th on a Sunday. And it's in Lake Geneva, or it's in Williams Bay on Lake Geneva in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, okay. Well, I think that's a phenomenal thing that you're helping put together, that y'all helped, get going last year, and it seems like it's grown phenomenally, and that, word's getting out. So it's probably going to grow even more after this year.
It would be great if it grew. I'm going to touch on some stuff, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So last year, Alan's been after me to volunteer time with the Children's Oncology. They do fundraisers and stuff. So one of the women, I think she's the lead for the Children's Oncology at the campground, happened to be in his home one day, and Alan had showed her something that he found, and they started talking about metal detecting, and she says, I think, the kids would be pretty cool to see that stuff. Would you show them? So Alan was telling me about it, and I said, let's just do one step bigger. Let's get guys to go out there, and we'll just do a smaller group. So we did. We did the younger kids, like Alan had said, and there was like 30, 32, something like that, kids. And there's a lot to say about what happened that day. It was mind-blowing. It was humbling. It was fun. It was sad. If you could have more than one emotion at a time, it was in you. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of getting a little soft right now. So, you have these kids who are, some are terminal, some are, they're on the cusp of just getting it. And for those who own, for myself, I have the 800, and we all know that thing is uber light. And you have these kids that are all excited, and, you get their attention, you give them real quick, how to do it kind of a thing. And so all the volunteers had 2 children, and we would go out, and the kids were very open, and they really liked the fact that you talk to them like they don't have a problem, because that's how they talk to you. And I'm doting on this one young man, making sure he's okay, and without a second in between my question of "Are you okay?" the girl that was with him picks up the metal detector. She takes it from him because it was too heavy for him after like 3 or 4 swings. And she says, Aaron, whatever we hear, because we were telling about the noise, we had no headphones. She said, whatever we hear, it'll be yours. And then when we hear another one, it'll be mine. I'll swing the machine and you just pick up the stuff. And I was just like, people that are healthy don't do that for people, and every kid just made sure that the other kid had something. One child found like Aww. 15 or 16 $50, and some kids didn't find any. And he went around and he just handed them out,
Wow.
And it was really, really cool to see. And while we were doing that, some of these older kids came in, and this is, it was our first run. So it's kind of like it became the inaugural run. right, for this metal detecting day. And so some of the older kids were coming down to go to the tennis court where we were at, and they started picking stuff up. We're like, no, put that down. And they were staying around watch. So 2 days after, when it was all said and done, and we handed out the gifts, and we showed them our finds, and we're going to have a bigger table this year, thanks to Amanda, who sent us a huge box of stuff to show the kids what you can unearth. So we handed all this stuff out, and it was like 2 days later, Alan calls me. He says, "Hey, the older kids I got a call from Alan. What was her name? I can't remember her name.
Janelle.
So it seems that the kids that weren't invited petitioned her to have us come out there this year. So we went from 32 kids to upwards between 250 and 320 because they all saw it. They all thought it was fun. They were all interested, and it was cool. It was really cool to see kids that are, not that they're, lay down invalid or they sat down, didn't do anything. They were up walking around, but it kind of, they forced themselves because they saw it was so much fun to get up and try things. And that's what it was about for us, to get them out and do things and to exercise. And then the older kids saw it, and now we need help because we just tripled our amount of kids that are interested in metal detecting now.
Right.
So, and I ran on that sentence, boy.
Last year we was like 21 volunteers, and this year we need about 55. Because we're going to have to break it up into groups of about 50 at a time, just to be able to get it done without killing everybody for an entire day.
Right.
Yeah, it's it's like Alan said, you're going to kill somebody, and I don't want to keep over talking, but I'm just excited because you're tired. We were so tired by the time the lunch break came, which was only 2.5 hours into the day. We were exhausted. But when these kids came out, they were like, they must have shoveled their food in because they were out in less than 35 minutes. We were told 45. I think it was like 30 minutes, and we're still like wiping the sweat off our brow, guzzling water. Here these kids come running up. They want to get back at it again. And it's so fulfilling. Right. I can't, you have to experience it. You have to experience it to understand that I'm going to talk till my teeth come out of my head, because I just can't describe to you the feeling to see these kids that are just suffering every day with the smile on their face, the hugs you get, and they're sick, and they want to keep driving, they want to keep going, they want to keep swinging that detector, they want to ask you a million questions, and they tell you everything, from things that I had no idea what the kid was talking about, but he was happy talking, and I let him go. Just let him talk.
Wow.
It was the best day, short of coming home from Iraq. It was the best day of my life. Honest to God. I can't speak about it enough.
So how can people contact you to get involved, and can more stuff be sent to help donate? Like what can we do to help with this program?
Yeah. We need volunteers to come out and help that day. And I guarantee it'll be the most rewarding thing you've ever done. I've been doing things with the camp for the last 15 years. And it's just amazing with just watching the kids. Besides volunteers, we also need dollars, because we got to feed the ground for them to find. And what I told the people when I was up there the first time at the camp store, I go, once we're done, you're going to get a lot of money in, because these kids are going to have a lot of money to spend. Because they found a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, just to give one thing where John said with the one kid, there was one who kept telling us the entire time, I'm going to win one of those metal detectors. Now, we only had 3 we were giving away. And believe it or not, he did win a metal detector. And we gave him all raffle tickets, and his was the first number called. Couldn't believe it. But that was great. So to get to us, all you got to do is go on to Facebook, Camp One Step Metal Detecting Day, and you can send a message to John or myself on the page. Say you want to volunteer. We have people coming in. God, I think there's some coming in from Virginia. I know Ohio. I know Indiana. There's people all over coming in just for this. Team XP, Team USA, they're coming in full force. We have sponsorships from different metal detecting companies already lined up. So yeah, anybody who wants to come, you're more than welcome. We'll have lunch this time for everybody. We'll cut it short because we only had the one group last year. This year we'll have 4 or 5 groups. So we'll be there for a while.
Wait, but our biggest, if you don't mind me interrupting, Alan, our biggest thing right now is finances. It costs money to seed a hunt as a club. And so for those who are in clubs or run clubs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we're not asking for an astronomical amount. We're not looking to raise that much. If we felt if we could raise about $2,000, of which we have 473 raised at this moment, or if they would like to donate, not really silver per se, but if they want to do a gift card to somewhere like a McDonald's or Denny's. Believe it or not, Starbucks was a big hit. They were trading Starbucks cards for Culver's cards. It was pretty funny to watch. It was like they were in Wall Street. I'll give you 6 of these for one. I'll give you 3 dimes for that card. And yeah, but it would be things that we could put down that they could find. I mean, Amanda sent this beautiful box of stuff, buttons and cars. So those are going to be on the ground. She sent some really nice coins, 1 or 2 nice coin sets. That's going to be something that if the kids find a specific token with a number, that number is going to correlate with the prize. So if there's a prize that people are interested in giving, whether it's a gift card or something that they could start their collection with, or like a penny book, with the pennies in it, or if it's like maybe a silver dollar or a $50 or a beat up buffalo nickel. It doesn't matter. They were so excited to get anything. So whatever anybody's willing to donate, we're good with.
Wayne, again, in chat had suggested something, and I was going to bring this up as well. Last year, I helped with some challenged kids, like some of them may be blind, some of them may be in wheelchairs, some of them may be missing limbs, just all types of different challenges. And they've been helping this camp out. It's in Texas every year, and I went and volunteered last year to help. And what they do is they get donations, and they also purchase foreign coins. And it's relatively a lot cheaper than, buying a lot of silver like you had mentioned and stuff like that. And there is numerous online. You can go to Amazon and purchase buckets.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just want to interject really quick. I wasn't pushing for silver coins. What I was stating was, we have foreign coins. We have a dealer in Libertyville, Illinois. It's Costas Coins, and Yanni and Kostas, these 2 Greek brothers, and I got to say Greek brothers because I promised them I would if they came up. Score one for the Greek guys. They're listening right now, by the way. So, yeah, they're coming up with this nice bank bag of, I think it's half full of different foreign currency. Our fear was last year, as is this year, if we give them anything silver, like a silver dollar, they're going to go and spend it as if it was a dollar. So what we're trying to do is, unless it's something for a set, where we can give to the parents and let the parents then decide.
For like a
it's just
size.
Correct. It would be something simple like Amanda sent. What Amanda sent was awesome. If you don't know what she sent and you want to see, go to the Camp One Step Metal Detecting Day on Facebook. I took about 10 photos because she sent so much stuff.
Sorry.
Just to give you guys an idea.
Also, someone in chat wanted to know if y'all had like a PayPal, or I know that Facebook does it now where you can go in Messenger and you can, like if someone wants to donate money as well. So that might be something y'all might want to consider.
We have, I created, and you know, because I'm actually not like app tech savvy, I created a GoFundMe page, and I am having the hardest time doing anything on that thing. So I think we're going to switch to, I think I'm going to switch it. I'm going to do a PayPal, and I'm going to stop the other one, because I don't want to, I keep getting like messages about, oh, you know, you have to fill this out, or the money goes back to the people. So once I get that figured out, we're going to go ahead and do the PayPal. I saw that on the chat. So that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a very good idea, and I think we're going to do that as well.
Okay, I think that's awesome. And I also figured out recently, because I did a transaction through Messenger, and it is so easy. So easy. It was way easier to me than even PayPal, but a lot of people have PayPal. So that's just something you might want to just check into, just in case, since you already have a Facebook page and you would be connected with Messenger. So might be something you want to check into. Also, Wayne Peterson, Nugget Brain Wayne from Colorado, says he would like to send y'all some stuff too. He'd like to donate some stuff. So be sure to contact.
That would be awesome.
Great. We'd love it.
So.
Yeah, Wayne, if you could contact us, one of us, through Facebook Messenger, for that would be awesome.
And let's see, do we have any more questions or any more comments that y'all would like to talk about the camp, etc.?
Alan, you have anything?
No, I don't think so. Just to give you what we put on the ground last year for the kids to find, what we put down were half dollars, quarters, and dimes. We wanted everything that had high tones on it, so it'd be easier for them to hear it.
Correct.
And then we had about 200 foreign coins last year, because I had one of my customers who actually does a lot through the Coinstar machines and finds tons of them, and he gives them all to me for that. So, like I said, we had about 200 foreign, everything you can think of from every different country all over the world that were in those things. That's about all I can think of.
Okay. I know that a lot of the hunts that I've been to as well, like you said, those bigger coins, like the 50-cent pieces, they don't have to be silver. I'm talking, 50-cent pieces, dollar coins, a lot of those. I've got some of those I can send y'all as well. But those are easy to purchase, and people could probably donate some. That's just a suggestion for those of you that are listening that would like to donate. some things. That's something that you could think about purchasing. I mean, you could go to your bank and get some $50, buy some $50 and ship them, or
that'd be great.
That done online now. So
yeah, I think that it's a great idea. But also, if they go to buy them, it's probably going to cost them more to ship it. So
True.
I know with things the way, some people are today, the trust factor, but all I could say is I'm a big karma guy, and
right.
anything that we get, we give. Alan has given, I've given, not only our time, but our own finances. So it's there. You're going to see it in the photos. You'll see the coins. Amanda's going to see her stuff coming out, off the ground from underneath a leaf or whatever we could put it under. You'll see the items that people are willing to donate or send funds for us to purchase stuff via donation will be there, and you're going to see it on the kids' faces, and you're going to, you'll see it in the videos we'll post. So it's not like we're going to go away.
Right.
If you go on to our Facebook page, I'm sorry.
No,
if you go on the Facebook page, we did do a video of what we were giving away. Some of it they were all on the tables. And we will do it again this year, and we'll do a little better video this time. Last time all we did was pictures and then make it to a video to music. This time we will do some actual videos of the kids hunting and everything else. So you can see, if you want to donate something, you'll see it on those tables. It'll all end up there.
You honestly, you had me at helping kids and as well as metal detecting. So,
right.
And you're welcome to come. Both of you are welcome to come up for this too, if you like. We'd love to have you.
And I really hope I'm going to be able to make it. Got some flight arrangements I'm going to have to make, but I would love to volunteer, and it'd be awesome if Amanda and I could both come. I was talking to Mike Poussin today. I know he is a lot closer to y'all, and he's going to be helping out a lot. Mike Poussin from Dirt Digest magazine. There will be an article. Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's going to be an article about the camp in Dirt Digest magazine this coming up issue, so y'all be sure and check that out. There'll be more information there, and I'm sure all the contact information will be there as well. But I'm cross my fingers. I hope I can make it. There was something in chat. I can't remember. Wayne also. Sorry, go ahead.
Dirt Digest magazine, so it drops Sunday, March 1st, and the article is in there about Camp One Step, and all the contact information is there for these guys. So
perfect. Wayne had mentioned earlier, and as we were saying about PayPal and all these others, he just mentioned that checks might even be easier because those tend to charge a fee for you to use those services. So that's another good thought out there. So I'm sure y'all be getting contacted after this airs. Be sure and remember, after this show, you will be able to share this podcast with your friends. You can share it as well as on Facebook, and all of our listeners, please go ahead and share to help get the information out so they can get more volunteers, etc. I know it'll be appreciated.
And anybody out there who wants to just keep up with it, to know what's going on, go to the Facebook page, Camp One Step Metal Detecting Day, and join the page. And you can get updates on it all the way through the event and what's going to happen next year also. So please join. Even if you can't make it in town for it, that's fine. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, I'm still hoping.
Awesome.
I'm checking my calendar, seeing if I can make it work, because I'd really like to come out and help.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
You come out, I'll bring you pizza. How about that?
I don't even need pizza for this. How about that?
No?
Nope.
No,
As
we'll
long
get you
as
pizza.
yeah, as long
We'll
as I
get you
can.
the pizza.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be awesome. Oh, yeah. Since you're talking about coming out, just a real quick reminder. The DNC is going to be happening that weekend. So on Camp One Step Metal Detecting Day Facebook page, I had a little blurb about hotels are going fast. There are people, I was speaking to a gentleman at the Hyatt Regency in Milwaukee. He said that they are sending people to the Chicago Hyatt that are willing to drive the 2 hours to go to the DNC. So I would say that if you plan on coming up, maybe try to find a place now. There's quite a few motels and inns in the area. So just a heads up that if the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to get something to stay.
And I would go into the Illinois area, which is Lake Geneva is right over the border from Illinois and Wisconsin. In Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, it's a very large tourist area. And during the summer, hotel rooms go crazy. So I would stay 15, 20 miles out because that's going to be the best spot for you, where it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to anybody who's coming up. Lake Geneva is going to be really hard.
Okay. So now's a great time to start going ahead and planning if any of you are planning on making it to volunteer. Or you might be camping out in the tent.
Okay. Mike just asked, how far is it from Huntley? From Huntley, you're about 30 minutes at the most. It's very close. And that would be a lot less expensive.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Itself.
For sure.
Yeah, Huntley is not far at all.
Awesome. Any more questions in the chat for Alan and John? I don't see any yet. Anything else y'all would like to add about the hunt or anything you can think of?
Just want to thank everybody for listening in tonight. And if you got questions, messenger us and ask away.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to come on. Hopefully we'll be able to see you, and I'll still bring pizza. That's just a given.
Well, Helen, best of luck in the UK next week. Here's hoping you find your gold coin.
Thank you.
And John,
Appreciate
thank you
it.
for your service. You did mention the happiest day.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Right.
But I think that's it for tonight. So Mike and Dorian will be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, talking about research beyond the basics.
Ooh.
I might need to catch that. Go listen
Me
to that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to listen in. That sounds good. Interesting. But yes, Alan and John, we appreciate you both so much for taking the time and joining us tonight, and telling us more about you both, how y'all got started into detecting, and how how it's escalated into what you're helping out now with Camp One Step, and it's really exciting, and we appreciate you sharing your stories with us.
Well, thanks again for having us on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you
so
both.
much.
Well, thank you. If that's it for tonight, I guess we'll all say good night, and good night all. Thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you all being here with us tonight, being in chat and listening, and just remember to share tonight's podcast with your friends. Get the word out, and we appreciate it. Thank you all. You all have a great night.
Good night.